How can I trust the Bible? Is the question I often hear from people, and I can appreciate the question because, let's be honest, the Bible is a difficult, complex book. Not least, we are separated from it by thousands of years of history and time and culture.
Well, that, and the fact that it's complete wackadoodle nonsense. A book of Mad Libs filled in by illiterate crazy people would make more sense. But hey, who am I to judge? Let's do this. Greetings, fellow space travelers. BionicDance here. Our friend Andy, who we haven't seen for a while, is going to tell us that the Bible is a challenging book. Which it is. It's challenging to read because it's interminable. It's challenging to read because the phrasing is often impenetrable and presumptuous. But what it challenges most is our willing suspension of disbelief.
You know, we read the Bible and there are things there that disagree with us, that provoke us, that don't necessarily agree with our presuppositions and our preferences.
There are also parts of the Bible that don't agree with history and which don't agree with a universe that is vulnerable to testing and verification. Whether we agree or not with the Bible on its moral stances, the fact that it's contradicted by verifiable hard data is more than enough reason to not trust it.
Well, the first thing I want to have you think about here at this point is the fact that the Bible challenges us is interesting, right? Because the Bible ultimately is a story of a God who intends to have a relationship with human beings. And there is something inherent about challenge when it comes to relationships. In fact, you can't have a relationship if there isn't challenge.
There is challenge. And there is challenge. A relationship requires communication, interaction one-on-one, all things that God, if such a creature exists, never gives us. A person who swipes you on Tinder has had more of a relationship with you. You want to talk challenge? What is more challenging to a relationship than never meeting up for a chat or even seeing a picture of the one you're supposed to meet?
For example, I've been married to my wife for over 20 years, but she sometimes says things that disagree with me. So maybe I should replace her with a robot, a bit like the movie The Stepford Wives. I could replace my wife with an automata who obeys my every command and never questions anything I ever say. That might lead to a little bit of domestic harmony for a while, but all relationship will be destroyed. There would be no relationship. It would only be a robot.
But we are robots. We're meat robots. If a computer could think, and we're rapidly approaching some very sophisticated AI, then what, besides the material it's made of, is the difference between intelligence and artificial intelligence? Calling an android just a robot is borderline racist. Machinist? Droidist? We'll have to come up with that term later, I guess. Technophobia isn't specific enough to robots, so quit being such a robotophobe.
For there to be a relationship, there needs to be challenge, and the same goes for God. But let's focus in on this idea of a relationship for a few moments, because I think another reason people sometimes struggle a bit with the Bible is they open it at random, they see some command or instruction there, and they think, who's the Bible to tell me what to do? And they take offense. Because there's no relational context.
You think that having a relationship makes commands and demands okay, easier to take. An unreasonable command is an unreasonable command, whether it comes from friends, family, the government, or a god. Relationship or no relationship. A relationship that, again, your God doesn't give us. That's 2 strikes against this idea.
Commands outside of a context of a relationship always cause problems. Let me give you an illustration to show you what I mean. Imagine, for example, that I get up tomorrow morning and I come downstairs to make the coffee, and there on my doormat is a letter that purports to be from a family 20 streets away. Never met them, don't know them from Adam. And I open it up and they say, "Oh, dear Mr. Bannister, could you come round and take our bins out on your way to work this morning?" And of course I quite rightly think, who the heck are they? I don't know who they are. Why should I be taking their bins out?
Which is how the Bible comes off, to me and to lots of other atheists. Oh, we've heard of this God character. We've never met him. All we have is that letter written to us by a stranger telling us to take out their trash. I know Andy doesn't see it that way, but that doesn't matter. He's trying to get us to trust the Bible, and I'm saying that telling us what was good enough for him is not the way to do it. If it was, we'd probably already trust the Bible.
So that raises the question, how do you have a relationship with God? Well, of course, if God didn't want a relationship with us, we'd be a bit stuffed. But the amazing news at the heart of the Christian faith is the God of the universe does want a relationship with us, and to that end has revealed himself in 3 ways. He's a God who's revealed himself to us in creation. We can look around at this incredible, intricate, beautifully designed world that God has made and deduce a few things about the God who's made it.
Why do they do this? I mean, seriously, why? Why do they think that this is a compelling argument? At all? Ever? I mean, what? Do they really think that we'll look around and go, ooh, spiffy universe? Therefore God. Apparently so. And after taking that for granted, he expects us to grok a few things about that alleged God's character. And even if I grant him God's existence, looking at how harsh and nasty this universe can get, I deduce that, good parts or no, God's a bit of a dick. I don't think that's the conclusion Andy wanted us to reach, but that's his problem.
He's revealed himself through the Bible. The Bible is primarily intended to reveal what God is like and his character, his heart, his identity to us. He reveals himself, number 2, through the Bible.
Andy, Booby, let me explain something to you. Your video is about why we should and how we can trust the Bible. But now you're telling us that God is revealing himself to us through the book we don't trust yet. And we're supposed to believe this suspicious book by having a relationship with its main character. Do you see the problem here?
But he doesn't stop there, because the God of the universe, the God who created this reality that we find ourselves in, has also stepped into history in and through Jesus Christ. He's come in the person of Jesus. So the idea being that if you want to know what God is like, look at Jesus.
Same deal. We have to trust the Bible to believe in Jesus in order to trust the Bible's main character. Even if there was a historical Jesus, that doesn't mean he had magical powers. People back then were superstitious and prone to embellishing stories, so why should we think the character Jesus didn't get purple monkey dishwashered into the fantasy tale we have today?
How do we come to know this Jesus? Well, the answer is you pick up the Bible. And as you do, suddenly you discover that you think you're reaching out to find out about God, and actually you discover through the pages he's reaching out to you.
Until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying don't run on automatic. Instead, please think. Droids don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when their videos aren't rated. Bionic dances are known to do that.